back to my channel. It is your girl, Dutchy! And in today's video, we are getting well and truly stuck into internalized biphobia, bisexual erasure, and biphobia within the LGBTQ+ community and out. I have had enough. I have seen too much lately, and I really want to start using my platform to call it out because it is enough. Enough is enough. And some of you have wanted a video on internalized biphobia, bisexual erasure, and all of that for a while. So I thought, what better time to do it? I had some comments recently that I really want to address and call out, so I'm going to be doing that in this video. And yeah, just really opening up about bisexuality itself, what it is, what it isn't, and yeah, just calling stuff out once and for all because I'm over it, people. I am so over it. Also over my nails, that gross, let's not look at them. So without further ado, let's get on into this video of internalized biphobia and bisexual erasure. Okay, so quite simply, I've had enough. Enough is enough. The amount of biphobic comments and biphobia in general and bisexual erasure that I have seen online recently is quite frankly fucked. And I want to speak on it because damn, us bisexuals really do be getting that bad rep though. For no good reason. Literally no reason. People. Okay, so first of all, I would like to cover internalized biphobia and bisexual erasure within our own community. Yeah, you heard right, within our own community. For those of you who may be unaware, internalized biphobia, homophobia, or transphobia is where you internally harbor hatred, fear, or disbelief against how you identify. Now, I'm definitely not singling out bisexuals as the only sexuality within the community or gender identity within the community that experiences internalized biphobia, homophobia, transphobia. Of course not. I'm just talking about bisexuality in this video, and all the topics I'm going to be covering are going to be about bisexuality itself. So, as internalized biphobia is something that a lot of bisexuals experience and deal with on a day-to-day basis, bisexual erasure and biphobia within and outside of the LGBTQ+ community can be and is extremely harmful as it creates further hatred or disbelief within some bisexuals' own identity. And it needs to stop. Bisexuals are often seen as greedy, indecisive, one step away from coming out of the closet as a lesbian, more likely to cheat, confused, only attracted to binary genders, live for threesomes. I could go on. And when bisexuals aren't being invalidated or discriminated against, some members of the LGBTQ+ community attempt to erase our sexual identities completely. Lovely. Bisexual erasure or bisexual invisibility is the tendency to ignore, remove, falsify, or re-explain evidence of bisexuality. In its most extreme form, bisexual erasure can include the belief that bisexuality itself does not exist. A few of my TikToks that I've been sharing to Instagram Reels lately have been blowing up, which I am truly thankful for. With virality comes hate comments, comes homophobia, biphobia, and I really wanted to call out this person that commented on one of my reels. They identify as a lesbian cisgendered woman, and yeah, this is pretty much what she had to say. I'll play the TikTok first. So this was the thing I posted to TikTok, very wholesome, very inclusive, you know, all that good stuff. Pretty wholesome, pretty harmless, and pretty dang true. This is the comment I received. So let me get this straight. You say you're bi, have never been with a woman, are married, and never came out? Yeah, this lesbian isn't buying it. You're straight and your sexuality has never had any effect on your life, clearly. First of all, get your facts straight, hun. I don't know where you got married with a kid from. Yeah, no, not the case. Sorry, doll. But, what the fuck? Let me just like not get too mad for a moment because I'll just end up screaming. It's people like this within our own community that create so much more drama, so much more confusion and internalized biphobia. Yeah, so first of all, she clearly didn't understand my TikTok if she thinks I'm married with a child. I'm not mad or upset that she chose to comment that on my video because it doesn't affect me in the slightest. I couldn't give less of a what about what this unkind individual thinks. She's one lame person amongst so many other nice and supportive family members and comments and friends and whoever. I honestly couldn't care less what she thinks. What does worry me is that other questioning, closeted, or outward bisexuals may see that comment and start to question their own sexual identity due to that one person's biphobic comment. For fuck's sake, I don't know how many times we have to say this, and one of my followers tried to actually make it clear to her, which was fantastic to see. But I've said it once and I'll say it again, and I will legitimately say it until I'm blue in the face. Sexual orientation is about attraction, not experience. Sexual orientation will never be about experience. It is about attraction. Sure, some people start experimenting with that attraction, but if they didn't have that attraction, they wouldn't want to experience that. Hence why people can be bisexual without having dated anyone. Okay? Just want to make that clear. This is gonna get wholesome. I want you all to repeat after me. You do not have to date someone to be aware of your attraction to them. You don't have to date someone to convince yourself or anyone else of your sexual orientation. In fact, you don't have to prove your sexual orientation to anyone, ever, period. Anyway, she later goes on to say, if you've never been in a same-sex relationship, have never had to experience being out with your partner of the same sex, and are now in a hetero marriage with children and have never told anyone, you're straight. There's a difference between thinking girls are attractive and actually being sexually attracted to them. It's okay to be straight, I agree with you. Because someone else was like, I know, it's okay to be straight. Why do all these people have to be bi? Honey, you just literally said that to the people who aren't out, closeted people, they're straight. Okay, so what about you before you came out as a lesbian? Were you straight then? Because going by your logic, you were. This stuff literally gets me so riled up and so mad because I identify as being a bisexual as well. But because, yeah, I don't want other people seeing that and believing their bullshit and then feeling more internalized biphobia and feeling more insecure about their sexuality and coming out as bi. Because people like this exist within our own community. And then some of you were commenting and like sticking up for bisexuals, which was so sweet to see. You were saying, no, that's not how it works. Enough with the comp het and biphobia. It's okay to be straight, but it's also okay to be bi at any level of sexual/relationship experience or lack thereof. Bisexuality does not need to be proven. If someone says they're bi, they're bi. Yeah. And that's just it, period. Like, nothing else needs to be said. If someone is bi, they are bi, and you have no right to invalidate their sexuality or their label, gender identity, whatever. You have no right, honey. Sorry. Someone then went on to say, I get where you're coming from, but don't invalidate people who haven't had a girlfriend and only boyfriends. There aren't many ways to actually ask out someone of the same gender because you don't know if they like girls or not. I've had boyfriends and never had a girlfriend, but I know I like girls. And then she comes back with this. It's not because she's never had girlfriends, it's because she's never had a girlfriend and is married with kids to a man and has never even told anyone that she's bi. There's a difference between finding women attractive and being sexually attracted to them. She has never been part of the LGBT community from an experience standpoint, and not even her closest friends know she's bi. It just appears like she wants to be bi because it's trendy when she's always lived and breathed and gone through life as a straight person. I actually never read that comment fully because I just had enough and wasn't giving her the time of day. I'm guessing she's probably venting about someone else in her life and I've missed a comment somewhere, because if she seriously thinks that my closest friends don't know that I'm part of the LGBT community, or I don't spread so much LGBTQ plus content throughout all my social media channels, okay, she must be talking about someone else. Regardless, the things that she is saying have no merit. She also has no knowledge on the actual proper definition of bisexuality. She was saying attracted to men and women, but not all bisexuals are just attracted to binary cisgendered men and women. You can actually be attracted to anyone when you're bisexual. So there was a lot wrong with her statements, and as I said, not affecting me in any way, shape or form, but the fact that her comments could affect others, people that follow me and subscribe to me in negative ways, makes me one angry Dutch girl. Oh God. Sorry, still mad. Moving on to the next topic. I also really want to make note of the different reactions people get when they come out. The difference between a woman coming out as bisexual and a male coming out as bisexual. Or when these people mention their sexuality. They might already be out, but when they like let a new group of people know that they're bisexual, I just want to go through some of the differences. For example, when a woman comes out as bisexual, a lot of men on like dating apps or whatever, when they notice that you're bisexual, get excited and they sexualize it. They sexualize you as a bisexual. They might not necessarily accept or back your sexuality and have you back, but they get horny about it because it's like, damn, yeah, we can have a threesome. Oh yeah. Cool. So that can be the guy side of what some guys see. And like, I am by no means saying that all guys react like that, because I've had men in my life that I'm dating that have never reacted like that and almost reacted in the opposite way, which has been amazing. And don't even get me started on the queer women within the LGBTQ plus community that won't go anywhere near a bisexual woman. That's a whole other topic. And then for men, a lot of people purely assume that they're using the term bisexual as a cover-up, a beard, a moustache, whatever it is, as a cover-up for them being gay, which sucks so much. And I want to try and fight that stereotype as well, as much as every other stereotype that exists about bisexuality. But for guys, I know plenty of guys that are bisexual. Turns out you can be male and a bisexual. Yep. Turns out they exist. Who would have thought? Another common assumption or stereotype that I would like to address is that we always have a preference for a particular gender. You know, we always prefer one over the other. Oh, but which one do you prefer? Oh, what's your preference? Like, what's your percentage? Believe it or not, this is simply not the case for every bisexual. Some of us don't have a preference at all. And if they do, it's none of your business. And if they do, it can change, because sexuality is so damn fluid. Some bisexuals may prefer one gender identity for a while, or they may prefer dating or seeing non-binary individuals. But at the end of the day, someone's attraction, level of attraction, preference or no preference doesn't concern anyone other than the person experiencing that attraction. I also wanted to make note that media, TV shows and movies don't help either. In fact, here's a popular scene from Sex and the City regarding bisexuality. Yeah, good one. Not great visibility for us bisexuals out here.
Well, before you, there was Kayla, really neurotic, lasted a year. And before her, Leslie, couldn't commit.
And before Leslie, there was Mark.
Is that a problem?
He's a bisexual.
Well, I could have told you that, sweetie. He took you ice skating, for God's sake.
The weird thing is he was so open about it. You know, hi, I'm a bisexual, like, hi, I'm from Colorado or something.
I don't think you're allowed to be bisexual in Colorado.
Is that a problem? I mean, what kind of question is that? Is that a problem?
Of course it's a problem.
What did you say?
I said it wasn't a problem. I panicked. He's such a good kisser.
You know, that generation is all about sexual experimentation. All the kids are going by.
So what, if all the bi kids are jumping off a bridge, you gonna do that too?
I'm a trisexual. I'll try anything once.
You know, I did the date the bisexual guy thing in college, but in the end, they all ended up with men.
So did the bisexual women.
Which explains why there are no available men left for us.
Oh, jeez. Maybe I do have a problem with this. I'm not even sure bisexuality exists. I think it's just a layover on the way to Gay Town.
Isn't that right next to Ricky Martinville?
You know, I think it's great. He's open to all sexual experiences. He's evolved. It's hot.
It's not hot, it's greedy. He's double dipping.
You're not marrying the guy. You're making out with him. Enjoy it. Don't worry about the labels.
You're right, you're right.
I'm very into labels. Gay, straight. Pick a side and stay there.
Yeah, good one. Not great visibility for us bisexuals out here. Some people genuinely come out and identify as a bisexual for some time, years, months, whatever, and then later realize that they may not be bisexual and they come out as lesbian or pansexual or other identities. And you know what? That is okay. A clear example of this is when Elena Joy recently came out as gay, as a lesbian, after years and years of publicly identifying as a bisexual online, on YouTube, on Instagram. She came out as a lesbian. And I'm not mad. I'm not mad at her. I watched her videos, I watched her explanation video, her coming out video, and I felt for the girl because I knew that she was going to get backlash. I knew she was going to get biphobic comments and things like that, or I knew she was going to get, or always knew you were a lesbian, or you were never bisexual, that's not a true sexuality either. Like, I knew all of that was coming, and I really felt for her because I tried to put myself in her position, in her shoes. And if I'd been dating someone for ages and then something just clicked one day and I realized that bisexuality wasn't the valid term for me anymore, and I wanted to come out as a lesbian because I felt like that was a much more fitting term for me and that I wasn't perhaps bisexual, then I would want to come out again and be welcomed by open arms, especially from members of the LGBTQ plus community, and I would want to feel free to do so. I wouldn't want want to be scared. And honestly, I'm a bisexual through and through. I know this, or at this point in my life, I know I am. I am well aware of my attraction and where I sit with that, and that's fine. But if for some reason something was to happen one day and I figured out that perhaps bisexuality wasn't my final form or my truest of forms, I would want to come out freely and openly without the fear of being judged by people from my own community. And people just saying, oh yeah, bisexuality isn't a real thing. Like, you were bisexual for so long, clearly you weren't, you were always a lesbian. That's a really scary thought. And that's why I felt for her so much. Anyway, amongst a lot of kind comments and support from majority of her followers, she still faced some backlash. I'm just about to play a clip from one of her videos where she addresses the biphobia surrounding coming out as a lesbian after being bi for so long. But yeah, I truly think it sucks that she felt like she had to explain herself and say all this, because coming out again shouldn't be an issue. Sexuality is so fucking fluid. Anyway, here's the clip.
The first major thing is something that I was really afraid of posting that video. I was and am so afraid of playing into these negative bi stereotypes, of becoming a stereotype, of being taken as proof that a lot of the negative things that are believed about bisexual folks are true. Because I did so many of the stereotypes. I am a stereotype now. I am a negative bi stereotype, and I'm so sorry for that. Oh, man, I hate that. I hate the idea that there are gonna be people who see my experience and take it as proof that bisexuality is either not a real identity, not a valid identity, that it's just a phase, that folks who identify as bi are just bi until they pick a side in the end, that they're greedy or unable to be monogamous. None of those things are true. None of those things are true. And I hate that I have contributed to that now in any way. It was not intentional. I hope you know that. I hope you know that none of this was intentional.
And sure, when stuff like this happens, it can and may play a part in why people do invalidate bisexuals and bisexuality as a valid sexuality. But she didn't mean it. She would never mean to do that. No one would ever mean to come out as bisexual only to come out as lesbian later to show like, yeah, bisexuality isn't a valid sexuality. It's just a phase. Like, yeah, I just wanted to prove to you guys. No one does that. And if they do, they're an asshole. Elena didn't do that. She genuinely, for however long, identified as a bisexual because she thought she was. And a lot have contributed to that. I will leave the link or a few links to her videos if you want to go and watch them. There was a lot going on, a lot of internalized homophobia, so much, okay? She didn't do it on purpose. And if I, a bisexual, can see that, and if I, a bisexual, am not mad at her for doing that and accept her completely, I don't know how other people have an issue with it that aren't bisexuals, that jump on that straight away, welcome her as a lesbian, but be like, yeah, bisexuals aren't a thing. I don't get that. Sometimes people really don't know their true sexuality or their final form, for lack of a better word, for years. It is honestly no wonder some people identify with or label themselves as one sexual identity only to later come out again or change to a more fitting, valid label for themselves, whether that be for their gender identity or sexual identity. If you're still watching, I love you so much. Bisexual or not, I want you to know a few things. You all seem to be super supportive of every single member of the LGBTQ+ community, and I live for that. I couldn't be more grateful for you. You are all so wholesome and sweet, and you look after each other, and I couldn't ask for a better audience. But if you are currently experiencing or dealing with internalized biphobia, external biphobia, or bisexual erasure of some sort, I want you to listen in and know that you are valid. Your feelings are valid and you are heard. We all love and support you no matter what. No one ever has a right to invalidate you or your identity in any way. No one has a say over who you are attracted to or what you choose to label yourself. Feel free to share this video around, send it to those family members, friends, or anyone who is struggling who needs to hear this. Send it to anyone who needs support or validation, or anyone that really needs a wake-up call and to stop harming others through invalidating people's bisexuality. It's just not on. It's just not on, and I literally will not stand for it anymore. Come on, it is 2021, people. Especially within our own community. Like, that will never make sense to me. Can we not just rise together and conquer as one? Or there is seriously enough hate and discrimination in the world alone, despite spreading it within a community that is already widely discriminated against. Like, what? Ugh, I don't know. I could rant for days. I just really wanted to call out that one comment and just speak a little bit more on internalized biphobia. I can do a full dedicated video to the whole internalized side of it. I know this side was a lot more about the external biphobia and bisexual erasure that we do experience on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, I've seen way too much of it online lately. If you see it, do call it out. Speak up for yourself or tag me and I will speak up for you. Because it's honestly not okay. It's not okay. And yeah, I am no longer standing for it. You heard it here first. No more bisexual erasure or biphobia, please. Please. What the heck? If you are still here, I love you so much. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it or found it somewhat informative or just needed to hear it. I love you all so much and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.